Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are getting Valentine's glammed up and we're using all affordable products. You love to hear that. Although I did specifically not say that this is a drugstore video because I know people get a little fussy when you say it's drugstore and you use ColourPop or Morphe products, which we do a little bit today, especially for the eyes. And can we take a minute? For one, not to toot my own horn, I'm loving how this look turned out. I hope you guys do too, so if you want to see how this look is achieved, just keep watching. So let's get things started with some eye primer. We're gonna start with our eyes today. I really have no idea where this look is gonna take me. I have a bunch of products in front of me and really no idea where this look is gonna go, so buckle up. I don't know where our end destination is. And by the way, I'm using the Milani eyeshadow primer. So I have 3 different ColourPop palettes that I pulled, but I think I'm gonna start out with the Sweet Talk palette. I haven't used this one very much, but it has a lot of pinks and golds in here and it just screams Valentine's Day to me, so we're gonna start out with this one. So I think I'm actually gonna start out with the shade Dream Maker. It's this nice pink color and just lightly start to buff that out in my crease. That is actually more pigmented than I anticipated. So I'm just laying down this color basically all over the crease, buffing it upwards, taking a little bit into that inner V, just to kind of set the framework for whatever pink look that is gonna happen today. So now I'm gonna take my Morphe M433 and take the shade ICYMI. I don't know if I'm supposed to sound that out or that's just an acronym, who knows. So I'm gonna take this shade and just start to build things up a little bit on the outer portion of the lid, just to create a little bit of definition. That actually came off a lot more red than I was anticipating. So at this point I don't really have a lot of product left on my brush, so I'm just kind of blending out any harsh edges. And then I think I'm gonna go back in with that same Sigma brush and take that original shade Dream Maker just to bring a little bit more pink back into the look. So I'm really loving this Feel Free shade. It's basically the same shade as my sweater, so I kind of want to use it. I think I'm going to take this Morphe M508 brush. It's a really, really small brush, and I think I'm just going to take this really close to my lash line. Sorry, I am totally turned towards my mirror right now, but basically I just took that across the entirety of the eyelid, just having a bit of a liner moment. You know, things get darker out here and I just basically push the excess product towards the inner lid, so it's not really that harsh, although I'm realizing now what I want to do on my lids and it's a bit of a glitter moment, so I'm definitely going to have to retouch that. So what I really want to do now is take this side to side color and just apply that on my lid. Oh my god, that is so glittery and so pretty! Oh, I love this! I am particularly glad that I did not apply my foundation first because I am dealing with a lot of glitter. Although I will say, I think that this is a Super Shock shadow, so it has like a creamier feeling, and I do not see any fallout. So I guess I could have done my foundation because really I'm so impressed with how this is staying put and there's literally no glitter fallout at all on my cheeks. So now I'm going to go back in with that Feel Free liner shade and just touch up what I did on this eye, and then I haven't gotten to this eye yet because I realized my mistake halfway through. I'm a huge fan of doing your liner with eyeshadow. I've never been one for like liquid eyeliner or kohl pencils or gel eyeliner has grown on me over the years, but I feel like with eyeshadow, especially like if you're a beginner, it is so easy to control with eyeshadow. It's just so much more forgiving than especially like a liquid liner. Also that I feel like it's such a harsher look, and I like it to be a little bit more like blended in and soft. Okay, I think I'm gonna pretty much call that done. I am going to use the shade Catch Me and use that on my brow bone. Although that is probably a little too dark for my skin tone, if I'm actually being real. I'm gonna highlight my inner corner with the highlight that I believe we're gonna be using. It is the Wet n Wild Megaglo highlighting powder in the shade Blossom Glow. It just has a really pretty pinky undertone, and I thought it would be perfect for Valentine's. So just popping that on the inner corner, and while we're here, I'm actually just gonna pop that on the brow bone as well. I don't really love a very metallic brow bone highlight, so just buff it out with your fingers and you get like a good compromise between like basically like a satin finish. Okay, now let's just run something really quick through the brows. This is the Essence Make Me Brow. I haven't used this in a hot minute. I definitely prefer the Benefit Gimme Brow, but as this is an affordable tutorial, I have to make some compromises sometimes. This is just like, the brush is so like hard. That's like the best way to describe it. It like kind of hurts to apply, which is not exactly what you want. It just like basically scrapes the skin. Just not the type of application you would ideally have, but it does the trick. I won't deny it of that. Definitely sets my brows in place and gives them a bit of a fuller look. So let's move on to the face now. I'm going to start out with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer and just start taking that all over the skin, and mainly focusing in the places like my T-zone where I know I have pores that need to be filled in. So for Valentine's this year, a girl is single, living her best single life, and my cousin is coming up to my apartment and we're gonna spend like Valentine's Day together, and I'm really excited. I'm so close with my cousin, and we have not seen each other in like, God, I don't even know how long. It has to be over a year, and we talk close to every day. She is seriously one of my best friends, and I just cannot wait. She is newly single as well, so I'm just really looking forward to just like spending a really fun girls weekend. I haven't had one in so long. So for foundation, we're going to be taking the L'Oreal Infallible up to 24-hour fresh wear foundation. Mine is in the shade 415. Just gonna apply that to the back of my hand, and taking my Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH03 brush. If you are going out on a date this Valentine's Day, this is specifically geared to you, or you are with your girlfriends, your guy friends, and you just want to get a little bit dolled up, this is perfect for you too. But especially if you're going out in some capacity, and you want to look super fresh, I really love this foundation. It lasts so nicely, and it looks just gorgeous on the skin. I swear drugstore foundations are really, really, really upping their game. Although I will say this one has fragrance in a weird way. Like, you just don't really need your foundation to be fragranced, or at least I don't. It makes me feel a little bit weird when it's like smells like flowers. So beware of that with this foundation, but overall it's really, really good. It feels super light on the skin. It's a really, really good choice. Following up with another L'Oreal product. This is, okay, my only my only complaint about this product is it's really difficult to get out of freaking packaging. They just did not, like, the engineers like really didn't like think that through. But this is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer, or more than concealer it says, but it's a concealer. And just applying this on my under eyes. I also really, really love, actually I feel like I've always loved L'Oreal face products. Ever since I think the Pro Matte foundation. I did not like the Pro Glow foundation. I gave that promptly to my mother who has dry skin, although I'm not sure she ever used it. I did not mean to do that. Okay, I might have intruded on my eyeshadow a little bit. If you can see, I cut it off a little bit too harshly. That's fine. We're gonna have to fix that. This is when I really wish I had a beauty blender or a makeup sponge of some type on hand, but I don't. I really need to get one. And I mean, fingers are, you know, some of your best tools. I mean, I applied my lid color with my fingers and I loved it. I did not think a brush could have done that job. But I feel like with face product, sometimes it's just like having a wet sponge gets you like that extra mile there, just like a little bit more flawless. And at this moment, I wish I had one. All right, for powder, you already know what it is. It's a Maybelline Matte and Poreless powder. It's just so good. It really does the trick for me. And you know the trick that we're gonna go in and do. We are gonna take some powder on our fingers and just set the creases underneath our eyes. So this concealer, again, it's a great concealer. I do not trust it not to crease right in those fine lines, so I always take a little bit of extra powder and do it myself. I actually think now, for some reason I didn't want to do mascara earlier, but now I want to do it, so we're gonna do it. So this is the CoverGirl Clump Crusher Mascara. I love this mascara so much. It has been on the market for a decade? I do not know. It has been on the market for so long. I would probably say close to a decade, maybe like 8 years. Yeah, it's one of the older products, but I really like it. Although I feel like I should really start expanding my horizons in terms of mascaras. I know there's a lot of good ones out there and I just have not explored. So if you have a good mascara recommendation, definitely let me know in the comments and I will try it out. Okay, let's return to the realm of face products and start with some bronzer. I'm gonna take, of course, Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe JH02 brush. Just applying that on my forehead because you want our Valentine's dates to have the impression that we are not quarantined. We are getting some sun. Maybe we're from Florida. Maybe we just took a vacation, even though we did not. Okay, for blush, I think I might dare to take this Milani Baked Blush in the shade Bella Rosa. Holy mackerel, does it look super intimidating. But I'm like, if there's ever a time to go for a bold blush, I feel like it's today. This is my favorite blush brush in the world. It makes me feel like I can deal with like super bright colors like this. It is, again, the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH06. I used to always use this Sigma brush, the F40, but it can honestly give you a pretty harsh application versus this is so fluffy and light and like you have so much more control with this brush. So I think I'm gonna dare just lightly stamp it, just, I don't know, waving off some of the product and seeing where that gets us. Again, I'm just using a really light hand. When I was younger, I tried using this blush and I didn't have the right brush. And it just ended up being a disaster and I've basically been scared of this blush ever since, but making sure that you use a light hand will make all of the difference. I think I went a little bit too hard on the apple of that cheek. It's fine. It's nothing a little powder brush can't fix for us. Just, again, lightly building it up. I'd rather have too little and build it up than have too much and then be in a dire situation. All right. As said, I'm gonna just buff that out with the brush that I used for our powder, and that makes things a hell of a lot better. And then for highlight, we are using the Morphe M510, and we're going back in with that Wet n Wild Blossom Glow highlighter. And I'm gonna take that on the high points of our face. Again, I picked this one out because it just has really pretty pink undertones. I don't know if you can tell the way it hits the light, but I think it's a pretty one, although I will 100% admit, like, if you cannot see, you have to be really pale to be able to pull this off, I think, at least, or else it's gonna come across way too icy. And honestly, I feel like I'm even like teetering on the scale of like this coming across as like a little too icy, and I'm really, really pale right now. And now I'm going to be taking the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist and just setting my face with this. We're gonna be taking the ColourPop Ultra Blotted Lip in the shade Slide. I think it's just a really pretty, I also love the blotted formula, but it's a really pretty pink color. And I'm not gonna apply too much because I don't want to, you know, although I can see on camera that looks pretty intense, but with the blotted formula, it just looks like a honest, like kiss of color. Like, it's really not that intense. You can make it, you know, you can build it up, but if you're just looking for a little hint of color, I think these are so perfect, and they're so light on the lips, and I think they're only like $6, so really, really good. I really, really love this product. What I really like to do is top it with a gloss, so you get that color, and also you make it super comfortable with a gloss. So this is the ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip. Again, I'm not gonna overdo it. Again, we're doing something a little bit more bold on the eyes, and I don't want to overly compete. But this is the shade You're a Hoot. And I'm just gonna kind of, again, take my finger and just apply it the way I want. Something I don't love about ColourPop glosses, again, I like the formula, but I hate this applicator. I wish it was just a doe foot applicator. I do not like glosses that have that weird brush tip. I just, not a fan. So about 40 minutes ago, I had no idea where this look was gonna take us, and I am certainly not angry about the way it turned out. It's a little bit more glam than I was anticipating, but I'm here for it. I'm kind of loving it. Whatever you are doing this Valentine's Day, I hope you get glam. If you are single, you are taken, you are hanging with your girls, you're hanging with your boys, you're hanging with your man, your woman, I don't care. I hope you take a moment, get glam for yourself. This felt good. Put on some hoops, put on some gloss, get some glitter popping on your eyelids. I promise you'll be feeling pretty good about yourself. I hope you guys have a wonderful Galentine's and Valentine's Day. I will personally, as I said, be hanging on the couch, drinking too much wine, eating too much junk food with my cousin, and I simply cannot wait. It sounds like probably the best Valentine's Day I've ever had. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. I feel like I am so glammed up. It's like I'm about to walk out for a date right now that I do not have. So thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys.